And this is Ken Kraetzer in Washington, D.C. at the PACE Professional Association for Customer Engagement for CBSI. And I have a chance to talk with a gentleman who just ran a session on actually one of the concerns class action suits, and that's Ken Sponsler of Compliance Point down in Georgia. And Ken, tell us a little bit about your session. You covered a lot of concerns that marketers, call center managers, and organizations have in the new era, dealing with cell phones, dealing with automatic dialers. What are some of the key points that your speakers brought up today?
Well, thanks for asking, Ken. Obviously, today, TCPA class action lawsuit risks are huge for all marketers, anyone in the contact center industry that's making calls to cell phones. And today, cell phones are increasingly the only phones that people have. So there's no way around. You have to face the issue. And there's been a 63% increase in class actions recently over issues like wrong party contacts, calling numbers that you don't have consent for. And so this panel today was really from all aspects of the TCPA class action litigation front. I had two attorneys from Kelly Dry that are experts in the defense side of the litigation, and I brought in John Berry from another law firm that specializes on the plaintiff side of litigation. And we also brought in Joel Feinberg, who is an expert in the actual class settlement strategies. So with my experience in operational compliance matters, where I'm more focused on the technology and the processes, I think it was a very good overview of all aspects that we haven't had here at PACE before in my memory.
One of the points that came up about is how long to keep records of call campaigns, and should they be maintained, and who should maintain them going forward. What's your thinking on that? What did the panel say?
Well, it's an interesting question, because if you look at the telemarketing sales rule and the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, they only require a 2-year record-keeping period, and they don't really name all the records that you would need in the situation of defense. We know that class action can go back 4 years, and there's a 4-year statute of limitations under the TCPA and the TSR. So we recommend 4 years of keeping records, and the records that you should keep are things like outbound dials, marketing scripts. You should keep all of your recorded messages that you have of conversations, your express consent records of those, your call abandonment compliance. There's a host of records that should be kept. And the key here, what we talked about, was when you're dealing with a third-party contact center, for example, that has to be a conversation that has to be had or in the contract. It can't be something left unsaid, because you need to make sure you know what records are being kept and for how long.
And a lot of, like the firms we work with, banks, a lot of inbound calls. The same rules apply to taking inbound calls from customers?
Well, absolutely it can. You run into several rules relating to taking payment over the phone, if you're taking credit card information, or if you're gaining consent to call during an inbound call, or if you need to verify a sale that the person understands the terms and conditions. All those kinds of things would need to be maintained by the company.
And Ken Sponsler, tell us a little bit about your company.
Thanks for that, Ken. Compliance Point is a consulting firm that helps companies comply with telemarketing and do not call marketing rules in general. We're very operationally focused, so we go into the companies, we discover everything from lead generation down to the record keeping, telemarketer registration. We really discover in close detail how they operate, and then we do a gap analysis, and then we recommend full compliance with all federal and state laws. We also have a retainer service where they can retain us on a monthly basis for consultation. And recently I've been involved in a lot of expert witness work. I perform as expert in TCPA class action and other cases due to my operational expertise.
Okay, Ken Sponsler, Compliance Point. Where are you located in Georgia?
We're located just north of Atlanta in Duluth, Georgia.
Very nice. Good to meet you here at PACE, the Association for Customer Engagement here in Washington, D.C. This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI in Washington.